Okay.
We're just getting ourselves primed for the suffering.
Why do you assume suffering at all times?
Because it's unusually right.
It's usually right. Fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, session 24, Avatar: The Great War. We begin with the suffering of... Actually, that should be the name of this chapter. The Suffering of Han. Book 1, Air.
The legend of some kid we left to die in a ditch.
The legend of... Avatar, the legend of some kid who... Avatar, the legend of Muffin Bottoms.
I hate it.
If I said the legend of Muffin Tops, it would mean something completely different. Right?
It's true. He's out of line, but he's right.
I willingly
Good
this
meme.
type of psychic damage on myself, but
Yeah.
All right. Is Nick back yet? Because Nick needs a recap of what happened last time.
I basically gave it to him off screen.
Oh, you did?
I mean, you can see if he remembers my explanation, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess this is going to be a recap from Nick's perspective, and then you all can fill in the blanks.
Excuse me.
Where did the T-Man go? Oh, I've got something special planned for you all tonight.
Do we get a little decompressed time to deal with trauma still?
Well, we got attacked by pirates, so I think we...
Well, maybe
Don't
like
get to
maybe
decompress
after
right
pirate
away.
attack hour.
I mean,
What?
isn't dealing with pirates the way you recover from trauma?
No.
When do I ever
Isn't
give you
that what
guys
a
decompress
therapist
time?
recommends?
Yeah, I was going to say, we never get to recover from the trauma. We just get to pile it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like shoveling... It's like...
Okay, let me rephrase. Can we have quiet moments to suffer in our trauma and deal with it and have cool character moments?
I'll allow it.
There you go.
But only because you insist on suffering.
True. We don't really have much choice now, do we?
I don't know, do you?
Not if we want to stay in character, we don't.
This definitely is the most traumatized of the groups we have played.
Is it really, though?
It's getting there.
As a collective group? Yeah?
I don't know. Like, Yule was pretty hard on one end of that spectrum last game and really tilted that scale.
But that didn't happen until very late into game.
You still seem relatively collected. I have not begun to damage your psyche.
I'm saying as a group, I think we're a little more messed up than our previous groups.
that's fair.
I think most of you. I think most of you are relatively stable.
Relatively. Like, have definitely had less stable characters. Definitely far less stable characters. I'm trying to think collectively as a group, and I think, though, like, the GURPS Worm game had been in probably was the most unstable party I've been in.
Yeah, okay.
Collectively.
The worm party was definitely up there.
I mean,
I wasn't there for that.
I mean, that's me as a player versus me as a DM. So pick your poison.
Yes, that's true. Different.
It doesn't
different
matter
stuff.
what poison we pick, we always get Terran.
Well, no, because you didn't have to deal with Captain Boner.
Okay, fair.
I've heard about Captain Boner.
I concede that point.
Captain
Maybe
Boner.
I should actually
Boner.
move to this game, though.
Captain Boner was a fascinating character.
Captain Boner was a very tragic character study, all things considered.
Oh yes, I'm well aware of this. It was still a very strange character to play across from.
I mean, also, keeping in line with, I'm bringing back a lot of former PC characters I've played, or NPCs that have made you guys rage. It's not like Captain Boner doesn't fit in this setting.
Thanks, I hate it.
It's true. Oh god,
I mean,
it's true.
bloodbending is a little too early.
Don't even go there, Izzy. Don't do
Not
it.
necessarily bloodbending. It's been around for a while, if I remember right.
It was it became a lost art, but there were things that prove that it did exist earlier. Which you may or may not find out more information about.
I
Nick,
think Nick got held up by something.
That's pretty much it. Alright, I have to play an RPG. Alright, I'm back.
cool. You're the one giving the recap, since apparently we want to know where the blanks are. So what happened last time?
So what happened last time, you see, I was very tired and I took a nap. That's what happened last time.
Cool. What happened in the session?
That's an excellent question that I wanted to ask our friends, about everyone else about in character.
Okay.
I told you out of game.
What?
I told you out of game what happened.
The answer is there was a giant exposition dump. I have, like, a quarter of an idea what happened.
Okay. Well, for sake of consistency, who would actually like to go over some brief bullets out of character? Because in character, you guys are not going to have a chance to talk about it immediately.
Well, we got a chance to talk to the head of the White Lotus, finally.
Oh, right, pirates are attacking. That was the other thing I remember.
Yeah, Captain Flintfinger showed back up.
I still don't know who that is.
Remember the idiot pirate whose ship we were unloading at the very, very beginning?
Barely.
That's him.
He didn't even make an impression.
That's
Exactly.
so
Probably would have if we'd done what Izzy wanted and gotten on his boat, but that's boring.
yeah. If you guys had actually made the smart decision and not tried to run away from a Fire Nation Navy battalion by running from one end of an island to another.
Izzy, you gave us
They
a party where
didn't-
almost all of... Izzy, literally almost all of us are running away from our problems in character.
I know.
Look, Izzy, it was the plan that they never would have expected.
Yep, it's the
You're
planet.
not wrong.
4 sessions later, you're still on Willtail Island.
They assumed competence.
We've
We
always
will-
been on Willtail Island, guys. It's all Willtail Island.
You've never left Willtail Island.
This whole thing is the worst Lotus Eater machine ever.
Don't put that energy into the world.
Oh, it's too late. It's already been there.
I just watched something that was like a Super Lotus Eater recently.
Oh, please,
What was it?
please inspire me.
Trying to remember, actually.
You're actually taking that seriously. You've doomed them all.
Well, the real thing that would inspire Izzy in general, and I both deeply need to and really don't want to see what Izzy would do with Chainsaw Man.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
No, please.
Like,
Oh, that was it. It was Kid Cosmic. That was the whole thing.
Okay.
like I would want to watch the carnage from a safe distance, but I would also just want to be involved in what happens.
No, Kid Cosmic is a really cool animated show.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
Craig McCracken one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, season 3 just released, Ziggy.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. I may have accidentally spoiled it. Just go watch it.
Ah.
Season 3 finish. It's the series finale.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm almost positive. The way it ended, it has to be the last season.
Gotcha.
All right. So, when we last left off, the sun was just cresting over the horizon on the vast ocean, where you see nothing but water from all angles around you guys. And as the sun was just peeking up over the edge of the water, your ship jarred almost to a stop, and it felt as though you were scraping against something and were just immovable. And then from immediately in front of the ship, this giant iceberg erupted from underneath the water, spraying the entire deck of the ship covered in salt water, putting out any sources of flames that were opened on the deck, and leaving most of you, if not all of you, very soaked. As the iceberg erupted from the water, it cracked in half, and 2 giant sheets of ice just came crashing down almost forming bridges onto each side of your vessel, locking it in place. And from the center of it, this towering inferno, just like a straight column of fire, was swirling around. And at the very top of it was this giant emblazoned hand with its middle finger standing upright. As you heard the voice of the not-so-familiar Commodore Flintfinger shouting, "Get all those scurvy Fire Nation dogs, men! Take no quarter!" And a bunch of pirates were charging on these ice bridges onto the decks of your ship.
I'm not here right now, but clearly we just need to earthbend and airbend at them, and then they will just go away because we're not Fire Nation, right?
All right, let me get right on that
Yeah, I don't think we can earthbend here.
with all this earth I have.
Yep. And again, point of interest, because I did ask every single one of you this last time. The only ones of you on the deck of the ship that presently are not in Fire Nation uniforms are Han and
I would
Mingwa.
be-
You would be
I would
below.
be back in my Earth Nation disguise because I'm not sleeping in a Fire Nation uniform.
That's
But I'm
fair.
also still groggy, probably.
Yeah.
I don't think I have another outfit at the moment.
Yeah.
I was too distressed to change.
Yep. So if everybody, I'm dragging you over to the ship. Other people on the deck of the ship with you are Boomy and Sagan, and over in the corner. From last time, you will remember your fox spirit Shishiki, who is chittering very annoyed because the smut he was writing is now covered in water and like all the ink is starting to run. Kindly drag yourselves onto the boat.
On boat.
Oh, I never grabbed Ziggy for the tracker. I apologize. I feel bad now. There's Kakan.
Should I actually be on the boat?
I mean, you will definitely have roused awake upon the jarring of the boat towards the front of the ship. Like, you guys effectively hit an iceberg. And while the ship was undamaged, it definitely stopped all your forward momentum, so anybody below deck definitely went flying towards the front of the ship. It, at the very least, would have woken you up. And depending on whether or not you think it's dangerous, it's up to you how quickly you would want to go up top to see what's going on. Because you can tell the ship has stopped moving.
Badly throw on, like, part of a rove and jump out is the answer. Also, is you need to resize our icons.
Oh, yeah, I gotta do that again, don't I? Boop, boop. There's Han. There's Mingwa. There's Hotaru. There's Yira. I don't have Kakan and I don't have Rizik.
Sorry.
There we go.
We only got one hero point last week.
Yep. Oh, right.
Well, I blame all of you then.
And you have BB here too. So I forget, was Thomas with you? Was Thomas with you guys?
Thomas would have
Yes.
been with me.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so
He
Yeah,
will
Thomas was
not
there
be.
for the story.
He will not be able to support this fight since I couldn't. We didn't get enough hero points to buy him as an ally last week, but
it's because you've been buying him consistently. I will allow you to roll him at a d6.
okay.
Oh, right. Also, just because he was on deck helping you guys out, you guys would also have Gihon with you.
Who's Gihan?
The guard,
Oh, the nice guard.
the nice guard,
Oh,
who
nice guard.
who is also in Fire Nation outfit.
Doing great.
Fucking terrific.
I mean, I definitely don't have a helmet on.
Oh.
But I probably haven't,
Oh yeah, no, like he doesn't have his helmet on anymore either. But for all that good does you, again, it's Hotaru, Rizik, and Gion are clearly wearing Fire Nation-ish clothes.
Clearly, they should put the ninja mask on themselves to represent this.
Now, I remember the Commodore, right? Because I actually was doing business with him way back.
Yeah, no, you would know him. He, however, is not rushing your ship. You guys there are 2 giant bridges of ice, one on each side, which I guess I will draw in a light blue pastel. Like so. And, you have a bunch of guys approaching on both ends. And, they appear to be, how do I say this? Looking to punch first and ask questions later.
Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, so it's up to you guys what you want to do. These guys are minions. If there are any lieutenants, I will inform you as they show up.
I'm in danger.
Han, yeet people off the boat.
But I wanted to do something much better.
Okay, never mind. Do something much better.
So, who would like to go?
Well, okay, I'm sorry. It's much better from Dan's perspective. It's much worse from probably every other perspective.
I mean,
That sounds
go
entertaining.
for it, then.
All right, Izzy.
Yes.
I am going to make an overcome roll,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I would like to use principle of business, because I am going to yell at them that I demand parlay.
Sure.
Okay. I will allow that. What
Right,
the...
this is 3d8s, but at least I get my max die.
Sure.
And you know what? This is entertaining. Let's use a +3 on this.
+3. Okay.
Do it. Fucking do it.
7.
Nope, 10 with the +3.
Oh, a 10. Yeah, no, you just see, like, a swarm of pirates running in, drawing cutlasses. Others are, like, bending water into a circle around them. And as they're rushing you, you just step forward and say, I demand parlay. And they're just like, ah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, no, 2 of them are just like, is that allowed? Like, actually, which bridge are you going to and declaring that?
I'm gonna do the captain.
The captain is still on his ship.
Where did he shout from, though? Which boat?
There's only one boat.
Okay.
So think he would be directly in front of your guys' ship, and the 2 bridges kind of make like half moon slivers, like arcing around.
Okay.
Are the
Then I'll
bridges
basically
from the Glacier?
Then I'll kind of step like basically where Hana is, just kind of like in the middle and just sort of like throwing his hands out to like fucking chill, guys.
Okay, they're all gonna run, and they're gonna be like. So there's gonna be 2 guys here, just like, who gives a rat's ass about parlay? Like, no. If he wants parlay, that means he needs to go see the captain. He's like, he's not a captain anymore. He's a commodore. Oh, right. Well, then he needs to see that. But it only applies if he's also... Are you a pirate? Are you a member of the Fifth Nation?
Do I know what the Fifth Nation is?
Roll me history.
Good. I'm good at that. Does this still count as principle of business?
This part does not.
Excellent.
Can I shout a boost at him?
If you want, sure.
I might have heard about that at some point. Burp, 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 burp. I'd have a boost from 3.
Plus
versus
1.
3.
Plus 1.
All right.
That's plus 1. As a very groggy Hira hears this and just shouts out a bunch of things she's heard.
Okay, I will also spend a plus 1.
Total plus 2. Okay.
Hey, that's an 8 after the bonuses.
Okay. So, what you know about the Fifth Nation? Not much of a thing anymore, but in past 2 generations or so, they were a group of people who took to the seas to escape, I'm going to say persecution, from their own home nations, mostly consisting of waterbenders and some firebenders. However, they prided themselves on being the first nation that welcomed anybody effectively with open arms and didn't really care about where your origin was from. Didn't matter what nation you originally came from, as long as you did a hard day's work and were willing to, become part of this new family, you were always welcome within the Fifth Nation.
Okay. Is that something where so it's not really so much being part of the nation, it's being welcoming to all is kind of the core philosophy then?
Yeah.
Also, not being a member of one of the other nations.
Pretty much that. The Fifth Nation was very much dwindled down during the Kyoshi era.
I think it's probably fair to say Yura's groggy shout is, Han, a bunch of us should probably have actually joined the Fifth Nation. We're functionally that.
This ship houses many forgotten and downtrodden from across the world, and we have over time we have certainly embraced the spirit of the Fifth Nation and its beliefs.
Then why are you flying under Fire Nation colors? He's going to say, gesturing a cutlass up to a banner that's kind of flipped over the top smokestack that none of you had really taken notice of up until now.
Well, when you're escaping a Fire Nation prison and stealing one of their ships, you don't have a whole lot of time to worry about the heraldry.
There's just going to be a lot of low murmuring amongst them. You can tell from looking at these guys, all of them are juiced up on adrenaline at this point, they were getting themselves pumped for a fight. And some of them are twitchy to the point they want to hit something. But the guy who's talking to you is just going to be nodding and saying, all right, come with me.
I appreciate it. I'm sure the Commodore would also like to check in with one of his customers as well.
Customers? Which customer?
I represent, oh god, would they even know who that Prankto is a king now?
Just say your company.
I mean, they'd recognize
Frank. Alright, what the fuck is Frankto's company name again?
It's Frank. I don't actually.
I guarantee
it's your backstory.
I don't remember the name of the company. You're the one who was let's put Frankto in there.
It's your backstory. I think it's just called the Frankto Incorporated, I guess.
Is it
Right,
Frankto's East-West Trading Corporation?
No.
I'm a representative of the Frankto Corporation.
He's gonna look you up and down and be like, oh. The Commodore would definitely want to be talking to you then. Right this way. Does anybody else want to follow? Or are the rest of you staying
Yes,
put?
absolutely.
Well, yeah, though.
I'm just the pet. I'm not threatening. Except where I am.
Are we still being attacked by pirates, or have the pirates stopped?
The pirates have effectively stopped.
Yura's just gonna look at Han for, do you think that it would be helpful for me to follow or not?
Han will not stop people who are not wearing Fire Nation uniforms from following.
Okay, I am waiting here then.
Kakan isn't going anywhere near the pirates.
I need new clothes.
I'm pretty sure that Han and I were the only ones not wearing Fire Nation anyway.
Nope, I'm also not.
Right, you changed.
That's true.
that.
You're in a bathrobe. You're fine.
Yura looks like a very disheveled Earth Nation noble right now. Just for clothing, at least. Sure, I'll follow. Maybe I can boost Han at some point.
This is so sad. I didn't need this battle map. All right.
I'm not as sad as I should be that I broke your combat.
Yeah, it's fine.
There should be no sadness at all here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm just gonna say you two go over to the other ship, and you
Yeah,
all,
Mingwa too. Mingwa counts as a person.
Yes, I do.
you three move over here. Thomas is also like hiding under some like stuff, like behind a pile of ropes, just trying to make himself as small as humanly possible.
Good. Thomas should stay out of sight.
There's a couple of pirates flanking you on each side. The rest stayed on the deck of your ship, weapons drawn, just kind of like eyeing the entire group that remains, because all of you minus Sagan and Boomy are in Fire Nation outfits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But a few minutes later, Commodore Flintfinger is like still standing in the middle of the deck of his wooden sloop ship, both fingers high in the air, like making a vortex of fire around him. You're a kind of impressive control, all things considered. But definitely not an effective combat tactic at all. Not only is it loud and announcing, it's just not something you would expect somebody who has any level of combat fighting experience from firebending.
You'd actually get not a very impressive artistry.
Ah! He's going to look at you guys and... Okay. It's like... He's going to turn and say, "What happened? Why did the attack stop?" Looking at his first mate, and then turning to look at the two of you, noticing you're not in Fire Nation outfits, and his eyes are going to squint and narrow as, his gaze goes from Yira to Mingwa, and then to Han. And Han,
I'm going to go right up within a yard of him, and do a combination glare and grin showing all my teeth.
I think on the way over, you're just was run. Han, call me Daye if it matters. We don't want my rep to hurt this.
Fair enough.
So staring into a bunch of sharp, piercing teeth of yours, Mingwa, make me an imposing check.
You
You do have imposing.
Oh, dice.
Yeah, no. He's just going to stop flaming his fingers up into the sky and just kind of raise his hand up onto your shoulder, just kind of push you off to one side. Or I'm sorry, did you want to fail with fail or succeed with a major twist? I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is, but it's up to you.
I mean, succeed with a major twist seems like it could actually get pretty funny right now, but no, I'll just fail.
Okay, yeah. He's going to...
And when I get pushed off to the side, just completely brushed off, I will turn over my shoulder and make my best puppy dog highs at Han, because why didn't they work?
Condoling pat on the head.
Yeah. Like, Han, was it?
That's right, Commodore.
It's been several weeks since I've seen you. What are you doing all the way out here at sea, on a Fire Nation vessel, nonetheless?
Well, it's a long story, but the short version is our group got captured by the Fire Nation, and through a series of very strange circumstances, we were able to break out and steal a ship, and took quite a few other prisoners with us. Unfortunately, as your men saw, most of them were wearing rags, and so we didn't have much choice except to wear the Fire Nation uniforms that were on board.
Yeah, you could literally just see the gears in his head turning at your story. It's like, understandable. But you've put me in a bit of a pickle here, Mr. Hahn.
Why is that?
Well, my sources told me that there was supposed to be a convoy supply ship for the Fire Nation in these waters. And that clearly is not you. And my next business venture demands that I acquire some rather rare valuables and take them back to the capital.
Nick, what was the name that you wanted to be called?
Daye.
Daye, you were in a different part of the facility. Do you remember anything about a supply ship?
Time to roll military knowledge for how they're going to be chasing us, because I'm assuming that they're going to be doing that.
Mm-hmm. You can assume.
Can I use one of my principles for this one, Izzy?
Which one would you like to argue?
I'm not going to argue the lameness that is Principle Fire for Fire Nation, but the actual end answer is the logistics of how ships tend to go, where they wind up handling things, and what is the likely source of what's coming after us.
Okay. I'll allow that.
That's an 8.
An 8. So if they follow standard procedures, if there's ever a vessel that goes missing, the Fire Nation usually would not want to lose any form of assets that are easily recovered. In this case, the ship, everybody on board. They would try to get as many naval vessels ready as soon as possible and send it your way. Now, that said...
How many were there at dock when we left?
There were 5 ships total. Now, that said, if this mission does take priority, that could change the normal supply runs if it is, in fact, given higher priority than whatever the supplies are that would be moving around, depending on where those supplies would be going and who they would be going to.
Right. So, Commodore, you actually might have launched your trap prematurely. Given how the Fire Nation is likely to respond to a prison break, there are probably some ships that have not just valuable supplies, but also people to be ransomed or otherwise following us.
We don't do ransom. The Fire Nation doesn't take kindly to that. We take the valuables and go.
Right. Well, what sort of materials are you looking for? Because there are likely many ships were unloading. They will both have regular supplies and weaponry that can be used to fight against the Fire Nation coming after us to recapture their ship.
The weaponry was not of any importance. What we were told to collect was a group of raw materials heading from the outer islands towards the colonies of the Fire Nation.
Well, we did steal this ship from one of their primary ports, and according to their standard military procedures, they will take the vessels loaded or unloaded to chase it. So the bounty is actually probably several leagues that way, pointing towards the direction the ship was coming from.
I appreciate that. Thank you. He's going to say, what was your name again?
Daye.
Daye. I'd swear I'd seen your face before. Had you not been on my vessel previously?
Oh, I had, but I kept to myself.
Ah, that would explain it.
If you don't remember my name, it's entirely understandable.
Of course. Also, Mr. Hahn, a word if I could, please.
Certainly.
So, these supplies, they're for your boss. As you know, we have a very good working relationship with one another.
Of course.
However, it seems that Ba Sing Se has been getting the best of him. Now, I have nothing but respect for the man, and a good working relationship is only as good as both people can trust each other. However, my respect for him is wearing very thin.
I must say I'm quite surprised. In what way?
Remember that the swamp visions showed you Francto kind of losing his shit.
Well, yes, but I also need to hear it from something other than a vision.
Fair.
Yes, I'm collecting these final supplies for him on good faith. Now, previously it was just rare obsidian, but now he seems to require even rarer materials, and the wall has not come anywhere near complete construction as he had originally promised. Despite all the work, it seems that very few people are willing to work for him now, claiming that he is not paying them fair wages.
That's almost unbelievable. That's the one thing he's known for, is paying lavishly for good help.
My understanding was...
Too much inflation.
My understanding was he started off and people were happy with their wages, but as he acquired more and more workers, he paid them equally at the beginning, no matter how many hours they worked in a given day. So people began demanding more from him. And when he started refusing to pay the increased prices, they stopped working. And since then he has been keeping to himself. Again, I have great respect for the man. However, this will be me third trip out, and he has paid me in but credit. And credit is only as good as a man's word. I expect payment due next time I am in the capital. When you see him, make sure he understands this.
I most certainly will, and I feel I must apologize on his behalf. This is something that I've never run into in my entire time of working for him.
I can understand that. He be a changed man.
This is quite disturbing news, but I'm glad you let me know. I think it's once we can get out of here, I think it's high time we made our way to Ba Sing Se.
Indeed. Well, also, he's going to reach into his vest pocket and pull out a piece of paper and hand it to you. Do you have any idea what he'd be needing these for?
Oh, what's he asking for?
So, you remember how the last shipping manifest you got from Commodore Flintfinger from Francto had just this ludicrous amount of stuff on it? Some of which made sense and a lot of others didn't.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so this list starts off with, 3 metric tons of purified obsidian from the deep volcano, which was the former home of Avatar Roku. Second is twice dried sea salt from the southern islands. Then it's a couple of rare mushrooms, a couple of herbs that are only indigenous to the very far ends of the Earth Kingdom, that are really only used as spices and incenses. And yeah, you've never seen, he's always been a very lavish individual. But this stuff doesn't actually have any lavish nature to it, other than it being very difficult to, procure. Like, burning incense is a really nice, thing, and it, like, says, yes, I am stately, I am, I have more money, I literally have money I can burn. But if the incense you're getting literally smells like a turd, there's something wrong.
Right, what's the point?
Yeah.
I must say, this is eclectic even for him.
As I said, it seems he, be losing his grip. Of course, it seems like that's happening to everyone in the nations.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, you said you, were just coming a jailbreak, was it?
Yes, from the whatever the name of the Fire Nation port was.
The Pohai Fortress.
Pohai Fortress.
He's gonna look at you and say, I'm surprised you hadn't heard the news then. I guess it travels faster along the seas than it does to the colonies for the Fire Nation. The Fire Lord has taken ill. It seems as though there's already plans for the next in line to succeed him.
Well, that's quite strange. But what does that have to do with people taking ill?
It just seems that there's a plague that's floating around over the ocean. Anyone who comes close to the port towns is getting afflicted in a similar nature.
Damn it.
And he's going to describe how people are starting to, get the pallor on some folks is So
remember how the moon's missing and the ocean's pissed off?
Right. Actually, also, does this sound at all like the disease from back in, like, session 1?
Yeah, I was actually about to describe clammy and pale skin. The hair is going white. People are having difficulty breathing as though they're drowning in the sea. They can't get out of bed anymore. Yes, actually. Exactly like that.
Well, fuck.
Hey, context at least.
Yep. It's valuable.
I'm impressed you remember that far back, to be perfectly honest.
Occasionally my brain works as intended.
What? Brains work, lies and slander, sir.
That was legitimately 6 months and 5 days ago that you guys had that information drop. But yeah, he's looking at you, he's like, it seems like this illness be more widespread. Something is going on in the world, and be it the stars we sail by or the spirits that guide our paths, something is not right in this world.
That I can most certainly agree with. These are troubling times.
So where are ye all headed? Was
Well,
it Ba Sing Se ye said?
Now that you've given us this news, I think we have little choice but to head to Ba Sing Se.
Would you mind, as a token of continuing good business relations, if you would take something for me there for safety keeping?
What do you need transported?
I have a very precious piece of cargo below deck, which I do not really want to bring back into the Fire Nation waters, if at all possible.
Well, I can certainly understand not wanting to risk it, but what is it exactly?
Well, he's going to say, looking from you to Minghua, and then to Yira. Mostly
Going to squint suspiciously.
Mostly looking at Minghua. The cargo is meant for my dear friend Indra in Ba Sing Se.
Is that a name that I've heard before?
It is a name you have all heard before, except for Ziggy. Whether or not
That
you
name
know.
sounds
Remind
Hmm? Sorry.
Why does that name sound so familiar?
Please remind us.
This name was a name mentioned in passing. Someone would have to roll to actually get this information.
Definitely, you know that name.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
Sure, let's roll. Is it Indra?
Yeah. Also, at this point, if you want, the Commodore can be wandering over the bridge back onto your ship so the rest of your party can be involved in this, and he's going to be waving off his men back to the ship.
Han, have a 2-point boost.
Okay, that's a 9 then.
A 9. Yeah, actually, so you remember talking with him on the... Actually, no, I take that back. It was not with Commodore Flintfinger. It was after you guys had gotten a voyage with Captain Corvus, one of the Commodore's alternate captains for another vessel that is in his fleet.
Right, okay.
The name Indra was dropped as the zookeeper, where he was delivering all of the pets, all the animals below deck.
Okay.
But yeah, as he's explaining, this valuable cargo, he will, be wandering back onto the ship proper with the three of you, and he's going to be waving off of his men like this is not what we thought it was, and they're all going to start turning and heading back, and he's going to then be able to, make eye contact with the rest of the group. So you are all at least involved with this conversation. It's like, yes, so, the cargo needs, large space. And, it's a good thing you have a Fire Nation vessel here. Good, sturdy hull. Not flammable.
Why would flammable be a concern for a animal?
Right, he did basically have a dragon wing on the other ship at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, Mr. Han, apparently, dragons are going extinct in the Fire Nation. The Fire Lord, now taken ill, has been claiming that anyone who can kill a full-grown dragon receives all sorts of acolytes, a title. It's the quickest way to glory and promotion within the military structure.
Yet one more of his atrocious decisions.
Yeah, several of his top generals have dragon blood on their hands. And these are not simple beasts of burden, gesturing at Minghua. These are intelligent creatures.
I will give Minghua a please don't rip this man's head off look.
I was waiting to just see a roll appear in the chat.
I'm very tempted, I'm not gonna lie. Mingwall's just going to sign something exceptionally rude to Han.
Do I know enough about how Minghua signs right now just to say... Just to, lean and whisper, consider where he's going to go next?
Let's say sure, because that's entertaining.
Yep, just... I'm going to roll, I have done things to attempt to sign something back to Minghua from the little bits that I might have picked up wandering. Nope.
Mingwall's now probably going to get distracted trying to, correct you to whatever he thought you... So that you're correctly saying whatever he thought you were trying to say.
Yeah, Yura said something about not forgetting to wipe twice.
Don't forget to wipe your pig twice.
Words to live by.
Good advice.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have distracted Minghua successfully.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
So, are we in agreement then, Mr. Han? You will, take the dragon? And safely deliver it to Ba Sing Se, then?
I suppose we should. With that said, do you have someone who has any sort of expertise in caring for the creature that we might be able to consult?
Not at all. We merely let it fly around for like an hour or so every day. It gets its own food, and then it returns. It's smart enough to know we mean it no harm. Or we would be foolish to mean it harm.
Well, I suppose that's better than nothing.
This is the degree to which we have become disappointed in so many people.
Yep. Is there anything you guys want to ask him? Otherwise, he's gonna, make his way back to his ship, send the dragon over, and then be on his way.
I mean, I would mostly just want a little more detail as far as, like, how the other nations are faring and the time that we've kind of been disconnected.
Well...
Oh, finish first.
Well, the Earth Kingdom is, to put plainly, like a rock that's slowly being chipped away. Most people have uprooted and are heading to the more secured cities. Ba Sing Se has been taking refugees from across the continent. It's one of the reasons why I believe your boss is under so much stress. He promised to construct a vast wall that no Fire Nation militia could penetrate, and yet the wall remains unfinished, and all the refugee camps that would be inside this wall are fully exposed. And everyone seems to be upset with him as a result.
I see.
As far as the water tribes, well, the southern water tribes mostly remain forgotten. The northern water tribe remains isolated. No trade from the north, no news, no one goes in, no one comes out. There's always a chance you find a southern vessel, but those be few and far between. And, well, I need not explain the Fire Nation.
No.
But they're systematically taking over all the coasts. And as long as they have easily accessible shipping lanes, they can hold and siege for as long as it takes. As for me and my company, we be just trying to do the best we can to help those in need.
And what of the neutral territories? What of Willtail Island?
So you have not heard. Well, Willtail Island used to have 2 villages, and was a nice little paradise away from everything. Not much there anymore.
Is it Fire Nation?
That's the best bet. They say you can still see the smoke if you drive close enough by.
Disturbing.
What about this plague that's rampaging through the ports? Is there anywhere that you know that's untouched? We have some fairly vulnerable people aboard.
From what
I worry about what would happen if we let them off in such an area.
My understanding is if you keep moving, it doesn't seem to catch you. I don't know if it's something in the water or in the air. But once it gets hold in a city or on a ship, it seems to spread from there.
And what are the symptoms? Not just the ones from before, but the more advanced?
The worst symptom be people won't even... just a state of exhaustion. Unable to get out of bed. Unable to move. Soon unable to breathe. From what I've heard, it seems like there's a large amount of mucus buildup within the body.
Does it happen to be green?
Mucus be green.
But is it normal green? Is it?
I haven't seen it myself. I'm told it's very illuminous.
Well, shit.
Yay, we're learning all kinds of bad shit.
Yep. And unfortunately, spirit-related biochem is not Rizik's area of scientific expertise.
While this is going on, Rizik, Hotaru, and Kakan, what are you guys doing? Because you've been very quiet.
I feel like I'd love to have a conversation with Kakan.
I'm waiting on that.
I'll admit I got confused at a section with the guy coming back and missed when the guy came back over onto our ship, and therefore we could all participate in conversation.
I mean, I'm happy to kind of rewind and have done this a little before they came back.
Okay, we will.
I feel like rewind while you guys are surrounded by pirates is great.
Yeah, rewind. You guys, we'll do that rewind now. We'll have a quick flashback to 10 minutes ago.
I'm gonna get myself more tea in the meantime.
Yeah,
activate the Omega-13.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
So yeah, Rizik, Hotaru, and Kakan, you guys are still surrounded by pirates. Most of them still, like, there's like one or two of them that just have their sword, just like, don't make a move. Just like, holding up their, cutlasses like real close to your throats, and you could just like see like they've had too much coffee. Their like entire arm is like shaking. And, like, the cutlass is just, like, swaying back and forth ridiculously. There are others that are just, like, calm down. Just calm down. Like, standing off in the corner, arms crossed, recognizing there's not going to be a fight, and, like, kind of disappointed at it. But there are other guys that are just itching for it.
Can you please lower that? It's been a very long day, and I don't really need a...
You think it's been a long day now? It's going to be an even longer day, lass.
What's that even supposed to mean?
Shit, it means don't move!
Look, I had to break out of a Fire Nation cell, convince a group, disguise myself as a Fire Nation engineer, ditch an idiot noble that would not stop talking about muffins.
Did I get that right? Why did he call you Muffin Man? Was that you?
He wanted me to find him muffins.
Why?
I don't know why. And based off the ship's hold, they only eat the tops of the muffins.
They're monsters.
I mean, they are for many, many reasons other than that. But
That is a straight up war crime.
I mean, they've also committed actual war crimes. But
who hasn't?
Which members of our party have not committed war crimes? Interesting.
I'm trying to think whether or not Rizik has counted as committing a war crime, because technically, like, he was never on the field, and he wasn't part of the people doing human experimentation.
Oh, the lowest bars. Thank you, Fire Nation.
So, like, I think Rizik may have not committed any war crimes. I'm not sure if anything in the prison for doing the prison escape counts as a war crime. I don't think so. I think May actually be innocent of war crimes. Please correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Look at what you've gotten us to debate, Izzy. Are you proud?
I mean, the guy with the cutlass, like, swinging between, like, Hotaru as he turns to face you as you're making this revelation out loud, is just like, you don't know what you're missing, he says, as, like, he swings the cutlass, like, really, really in a wide arc, and it gets very, very close to you.
I mean, listen, you seem like you have a lot of energy. Do I really look, other than the uniform, do I actually look like a Fire Nation soldier to you?
I don't know. I've never seen a Fire Nation girl without her helmet on before.
Then how would you know I'm a Fire Nation girl?
Because you're wearing the uniform!
Look, we had to steal the uniforms to break out of jail.
A likely story.
Would you like an unlikely story?
Intrigue me. Again, as he swings his cutlass between the two of you.
Oh, I didn't really expect you to respond to that.
So, you know what? Let's recount the story.
Actually, hold on. Would you believe that I'm actually over 50 years old?
He's going to look at you, like look you up and down, sizing your curves up, like looking at you so intently to the point where it's uncomfortable, and he's just like, either you're a liar, or you be doing Pilates.
I also can melt rocks with my mind.
You just like see like the one little fuse that's holding on his brain just kind of like crack.
There's just the like.
Nothing is a lie so far.
So far, we have not lied.
So far, you have not lied to the guys.
The ship is completely undamaged at the moment, right?
For the most part, yeah.
What do you mean?
Did I get a quote? I never get memorable quotes. Yay!
You're welcome, because that was a good. I mean, to be fair, technically Izzy rather than you. But...
I'll take it.
Thank you. Yeah. Kakan, what are you doing while this is happening? Because you're also like just right there.
Do I see this happening?
You're on the deck of the ship with them. Yeah.
Mm.
It's the three of us right now.
Gotcha. Kakan is basically going to go up to these pirates and just try to intimidate them and say, "Why don't you leave the two of them alone?"
Did you, Ziggy? Did I miss your character icon?
Did you? Maybe.
You have to drag yourself on.
Oh.
But yeah, okay, roll me an imposing check.
There's my icon.
Can I boost him?
Sure.
Let's see. I can't use that right now.
And I'll make the air around me a little wavy, just to be a little more intimidating.
Okay.
I think it's just got to be, yeah.
You're not gonna help with convincing them we're not Fire Nation.
Just spend something else. Ask
did.
them for their pocket sand.
Do we have any rocks?
All right, you know what? Fine. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll make the air colder around me. There. It's the same skill anyway.
I'd buy that.
I'm gonna say something. Try to read the guys and say something appropriate to help his intimidation.
Okay. Roll it.
It's a +2.
+2.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Roll it, Kakan.
are we in yellow or green?
Whatever your HP's at.
Oh, okay.
So that's an 8. So that succeeds. So, what exactly are you saying to this guy as, like, the air just kind of chills around you?
Like I said, I'm just going to say, why don't you leave the two of them alone?
Okay. He's going to, like, leave them alone, turn to look at you, like, be staring directly at your abdomen, look up, and just, like, his squirrely face is just gonna be like, oh gosh, what is this giant of a man? And he's gonna be like, and, like immediately, like, the sword just kind of, like, turns and is just, like, you know, defensively, like, in front of him, between the two of you, as he takes a few steps back. Still in your shadow.
And once they back off, Khan is going to give a very deep sigh and just like slam his back against the like one of the walls of the ship that they're on, and just kind of slide down.
Okay.
This is not a day I would care to repeat.
After a minute, I'm gonna actually tentatively go over and slide down next to you. Hey, I wanted to say thank you. And I'm sorry. I think I really misjudged you, Kakan.
Apology is accepted.
I didn't know everything you'd been through. I just thought you were another blind propagandist to the same problems that got me here, and same problems that have been eating the Fire Nation alive for decades now. But I misjudged you. I think you're kind of like what Yira used to believe, without quite the vicious, the bloodthirst, or not bloodthirst, the brutality. The brutality. Callousness, maybe. And like I said, I'm sorry I was kind of cold to you, and I didn't treat you right. I was taught better than that, so I'm sorry.
As I said, apologies accepted. I can understand, at the very least, your own circumstances. After all, I chose the path that I currently walk on. For all of the faults and difficulties that those have presented, they are my own, and I accept them as such. You were never given that choice.
I guess so. I'm not sure which is worse. Being born with a strange, dangerous gift, or being given one that you didn't quite grasp until you had it.
Personally, if you'll forgive the impertinence, I believe the circumstances of its creation matter less than what we do with them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been trying to tell me that. And oh God, I almost killed a man with it today. A man who didn't deserve it or did nothing. Or nothing directly to me, at least. For all I know, he's done horrible atrocities, but he didn't even know who I was. I thought he'd grown up knowing who I was, that I was some boogeyman that my father would have warned him about, but he didn't even know I existed. And I almost killed him for that.
bear your father a great deal of ill will. Perhaps rightfully so.
I mean,
But it's difficult to associate anyone associated with him in a less kind light. Or in a more kind light, perhaps.
I don't understand him. And how can you hate and love someone at the same time? I hate him for what he's done, but he was my father.
People can make good generals, but poor fathers.
You know, I still don't know why he married my mother. Not fully. They never talked about it. I always thought it was some maybe political move, but they both had secrets they kept. I guess I'll never know now.
Not from your mother, perhaps.
Definitely not from her. My father saw to that. Can I ask you a question, Kakan?
You may.
How come when we met you, you didn't seem like you were with the Science Division or the Fire Nation at that point? What happened exactly? You seem like, and again, no offense, the perfect type of weapon they would have wanted, that my father would have wanted to use.
For a time, I was. Believe it or not, during my first outing, my first field test, as it were, even though I never met the man, my orders came from General Sakan.
I nod. That lines up. I bet I would bet quite a lot that Crash still works for him.
I would not doubt it. The reason I left was a simple one, as I mentioned. As long as I was still a risk to those around me, my fellow Fire Nation soldiers, even the people that we were seeking to bring under the Fire Nation umbrella, I would not feel safe. And I would not feel that they were safe.
I'm
That may
shocked.
seem an odd thing for someone who is willing to perhaps take lives in the name of the Fire Nation.
I'm kind of just shocked they let you go at all. I didn't think either of them would care about that.
Oh, that's the funny thing. Technically, this isn't the first act of treason I've done. When it became apparent that Director Kresh did not have an immediate solution for my inability to vent my energies, I decided that I would be of better use taking my own initiative, as it were. So I left in search of a way to control my abilities. It was naive of me, perhaps, but I felt that the risk was worth it if it meant that I could be a more effective soldier.
I wonder if they're still looking for you.
They very well might. The Spy Master has any form of loyalty to either of them. He may have already informed them.
Well, how do you feel about it all now? We did learn a lot today.
Oh, my dear, sweet girl, I have learned quite a lot today. Far more than I am comfortable with. In many, many ways. Ways that made what I've done today perhaps easier and at the same time all the more difficult.
Yeah. Sometimes knowing the truth sucks.
Indeed. To know that the Fire Nation that I love to see one thing, with the fruits of my labor providing an avenue of upward movement towards those motivated by petty advancement or jealousy at best, cruelty and power grabbing at worst, pure incompetence in those that should be farthest from it. And to see that the very process that I was created for, process that I willingly joined, despite all the pain and the risk and the after effects, to see what the Fire Nation can be turned into something so much lesser by those with either the lack of vision or, perhaps worse, a very clear vision.
You know, listening to you, I almost believe it. I almost want to see what it could all be. You have to tell me about it sometime. I never really grew up knowing what the Fire Nation was. I was kind of always sequestered away, stuck in a room or training in a weird colony that wasn't quite a real Fire Nation place. I just know about the version my father told me. But his version was always militaries and conquests and strategies and grand histories.
Do you know why so many of the Earth Kingdom, why the Fire Nation colonies have yet to refall back into the Earth Kingdom's hands?
I haven't had much time to think about it.
For some, it is because the Fire Nation has advanced the front lines to the point where retaking it through military force is inadvisable. But there are other reasons. There are former Earth Kingdom territories who have embraced the Fire Nation. The reason for that is, it's true. The reason for that is very simple. It's because the Fire Nation was able to give them things that they didn't realize that they wanted or needed. The Earth Kingdom, and this is only from my limited experience, grant you, the Earth Kingdom is a very proud nation, a very stubborn nation. Perhaps even more so than the Fire Nation.
I can tell you definitely more than the Fire Nation.
But there's a hidden insidiousness to that sort of stubbornness. It comes with contentedness. A stubbornness that forms in a way that manifests itself as things are good. Why should we try to change it? And that sort of way of thinking blocks you off to so much potential. The Earth Kingdom colonies, the Fire Nation colonies, some of them have been able to see it. It took the act of conquering them to do it, which is certainly not advisable. But they have, and many have embraced it. Whether that's due to the promises of a Fire Nation that no longer exists, I can't say.
An Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation colony accepted by an Earth Kingdom people. Sounds like maybe a place I might actually belong.
I'll take you there sometime.
That was really nice.
Sometime when we are not treasonous fugitives.
Or being threatened by pirates.
Or being threatened by pirates. Who are these pirates? Have you met them? They seem to know you.
Technically, we did they were going to give us a ride, but we kind of abandoned them. There was a Fire Nation ship closing in. We kind of panicked.
Not our best moment.
Man, I wish I was there for this conversation, but oh well.
Nope, this was a bonding moment.
Yeah.
It was special. I'm pretty satisfied with that as a point for people probably to show back up.
So as you guys were talking and made the pirate comment, the guy who's been swinging his sword around at you guys, just like, hey, we be not that bad. And like as he's saying that is as Minghua, Han, Yira, and Commodore Flintfinger are crossing over on one of the ice bridges on the port side of the ship. And now you are all back together.
I don't think we accused you of being bad.
Look, you're looking at us all the wrong way. We're not pirates. Unless you're Fire Nation. We're privateers.
I'm pretty sure
so you're pirates with legal backing, then.
Yes,
sure that's just a synonym.
That is indeed the definition of privateers, merely pirates with government funding.
It's so the government itself doesn't need a strong navy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're that, right, Commodore? Aye, we get paid by 3 kings. The King of Omashu, the King of the Earth King in Ba Sing Se, and, well, not really paid, but so much barter with the Southern Water Tribes chief.
Hmm. Suppose it counts as yet another front of the war that people can say that they're not a part of.
Excuse me.
Doesn't matter what end of this world you're a part of, miss. The war is reaching every corner of the globe. And we seafarers are the ones who see it firsthand. Because the water touches all corners of the land.
Fair enough.
Anyway, as he comes back on his ship, he's like, men, there's been a mistake. These are our friends. Back to the ships, ye scallywags. We've got lots of business to attend to farther west. There'll be a couple of guys who, stick around for a few more minutes, but the majority of the pirates are going to start making their way back to the ship. He's then going to turn to you, Han, and say, now, Mr. Han.
Yes, Commodore.
About what we were speaking with, would you mind transporting the cargo we discussed?
I suppose we do owe you some good faith in light of my boss's issues, and I'll be sure to speak with him and do my best to straighten things out between the two of you.
I would appreciate that. Again, doing this on good faith, especially in times of war, is encouraged, but as they say, coin is what makes the world go round.
Certainly does.
Commodore, I hadn't done it before, but a question for you.
Of course.
What have you heard of the rumors of the Avatar?
Last I heard of the Avatar, he was, with a group of showmen along the southern Earth Kingdom, but was then attacked and supposedly captured by a Fire Nation commander by the name of Yira.
Amazing.
That's a story.
Truly tragic.
Not technically wrong.
There be these notices we received from some small villages along the southern coast. described as a firebending woman of outstanding talent who managed to capture him and was bringing him back to the Fire Nation proper.
Ah.
Truly an enemy to us all. I hear she is part of a family of dragon slayers.
That'll get an eyebrow from Han.
You don't know this, Nick.
And no, the question is really, and which ones have pulled that off?
As I said earlier, to be the quickest way to achieve promotion within the ranks of the military.
No, not that. There are several people in the Fire Nation who are of particular importance, and those who would commit such sacrilege, I think, are especially worthy of being condemned.
They're going on the list.
So
we're going to need to discuss this list later.
He's going to actually say, well, there's obviously General Sakam, the first one who took on a dragon and overcame it.
I mean, obviously, though I believe he's from a different family, unless my information's out of date.
Supposedly their trees will be tying together. The other is General... Crap. What's your older sister's name? Tatsuya? Notes. Too many freaking NP... General Tatsuya, the eldest one. Though she's only killed a dragon recently to procure status within the military. General Sakam, meanwhile, did it back in his youth. Some 60 years ago.
No, he is famed for that.
Indeed. But sometimes you hear stories about that. Intriguing stories. See, now the dragons are just found the people go and find their tracks and hunt them down like wild beasts. But General Sakam, being the first, supposedly not only met with the dragon, but also spoke with it.
Once upon a time, they were quite willing to speak with anyone of sufficient talent and sufficient reverence.
Indeed. Pointed him in a direction. But then, the dragon ceased to be, and he became a general at a very young age.
Thank you, Captain.
Commodore!
I'm actually going to pull out basically a flask of... Thank you. To better times in the future, Captain.
Commodore!
Commodore, my apologies.
Yes, your apologies indeed. He's going to take your flask, down half of it, wipe his mouth, and hand it back to you. Miss. Mr. Han, I'll be sending over the cargo shortly.
Thank you, Commodore.
So he is going to start trudging back along on the ice bridge. Incredibly bent out of shape that you called him a captain and not a commodore. Like, more so than anything else. Like, there's an unnatural discrepancy there. And the few of his men are going to follow.
So that's why Han was very careful to call him Commodore.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys want to call out anything? Otherwise, you're going to be on the ship alone for a few minutes as you are getting unstuck.
I mean, mostly just like, Well, I see he's taken to his new title well. I find many who captain a ship quite prefer to be known by that.
Meanwhile, just sticks his tongue out like that guy's gross.
I do not believe that man is a Commodore.
He's always been more of a tradesman than a captain, than like a military officer. So I imagine the broader scope of title means more to him.
Wait, why are we taking on cargo? We're not going to keep the ship right in the library, right?
We just need to get it to its to a place that is safe.
Get what to a place that's safe?
It's
You hear these giant puffs of wind coming from overhead as the smoke from the smokestack on your ship just seems to like go in the other direction. And as you all turn, you see this gigantic red dragon beating its wings, slowly landing on the front of your ship. And as it drops down, putting its full weight on, you hear the ship kind of creak as the front sinks a little bit lower into the water and the back end tilts out.
The monster's going to point at it, like, surely that's not the cargo, right?
Is that a dragon?
It just Yura's gonna look over and like, meanwhile, you were there when we discussed that is in fact the cargo.
But it's so big!
Hi.
Yes, it's a dragon.
How in the Fire Nation did the dragon even get this far out?
Well, they've been being
transporting it
for a while.
I don't know the details, but the Commodore has been transporting this one.
Is there a safe place we can take the dragon, or is this another case of where home in the Fire Nation isn't safe, so we just need to protect them for a while?
Izzy, the goal was to get it to Ba Sing Se, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we need to bring him to Ba Sing Se. Or her. I'm not actually sure. I will kind of glance at the dragon to see if they can give us any indication.
I do not suppose you're capable of speech, are you?
I say, are these humans always so droll in their conversation? Meanwhile, meanwhile, you are the only one who can understand that.
Yes!
Yeah.
Izzy, I'm gonna use an overcome use my background skill to properly greet the dragon.
Yeah, Mingwall's going to sign like, yeah, they're dumb. Who are you?
My name is Jasper. Of the High Cliffs.
Are you the cargo? You seem big.
I do not consider myself cargo. I am a passenger.
Oh, okay. Where are you going?
I was told I could find sanctuary in the high cliffs around the Earth Kingdom city known as Ba Sing Se. Also, Yura, you come up and give a greeting. You stumble a little bit as it because it's kind of weird, but the dragon will look at you and bow its head. And it's got like these long, like nose tendrils, like a moustache. One of them, yes, very, very posh. And like as it bows its head,
Posh is the true manner of a gentleman.
Indeed.
Yeah, Mingwall's just going to kind of tap Han on the shoulder and say, it actually wants to go to Ba Sing Se. Are we going there?
I'll kind of turn and address the group. I really think we need to make a detour to Ba Sing Se on our way to the library.
Bring all these people somewhere safe.
I mean, I agree completely with that, Han. However, you're not going to be taking a detour to Ba Sing Se if you're going to the desert. You're just going to be backtracking.
Neither destination solves the issue of how we propose to get there in a ship. They are both rather famously centerland destinations.
Let me see. I can potentially.
Thomas isn't
We
exactly...
have a lot of people to transport.
Yeah, Thomas isn't a tank anymore.
Yeah, no, but I can probably whip up a carriage and other stuff. It's not going to be as fast, but it can help us get there.
I mean, once we get to land, at the very least, we have a couple of skilled earthbenders.
I will point out, just from a logistics standpoint, it may still end up being faster to sail around and then go over land than to just go over land.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to take you back to the map?
Yeah.
That would be good.
Useful.
So actually, Boomy will point out, because you can assume this map is a physical thing somewhere in the ship. He's going to point out that there are several... If you look here and here, along Serpent's Pass, number 38, and up here, along the Plow River line, they both come relatively close to Ba Sing Se, very far inland. Then it won't be that far of a trek from either location to Ba Sing Se. And we most likely don't have to worry about any firebenders if we get that far inland.
That's true, and that would let us drop off the other refugees as soon as possible. We can potentially check in with...
We're just going to look at Boomy's like, I wouldn't necessarily count on that considering how fast the tank trains can move and that this is not the only one.
I did wreck the tank train before we left, but it seems like they have ideas for building more. I didn't do as good a job as I would have liked with wrecking those blueprints.
How many of those do they have?
Izzy, can I roll an overcome from my knowledge from a year ago?
I'd also like to assist with this.
Yeah, I also probably could.
Okay, I will allow all of you to roll it, or if you wish to make a boost instead, you have to declare it first.
Can I do inventions instead of lightning calculator for this, so that because of the fact that I was working on this?
You may. Whatever your HP pool is currently in. You guys have not had a chance to heal since the last fight. Yet.
I will boost because I'm assuming you have better than a D10 and 2 D8s.
I have a D10, a D8, and a D6 because we're in green.
Oh, well, I'm in yellow because of health, so maybe I'll roll then.
I have 2 D8s and a D4, so I'll roll. And I'll give myself...
So we're boosting Rizzik then.
Okay, I will be the one being boosted then.
Okay.
Take a +2.
Okay.
Take a +1 for me.
So +3. I do not believe I can use Principle of the Gearhead because this is remembering my old designs and how they got applied, not anything new. So let's see. That will be 6 plus
9.
9. Okay, yeah.
All right. So from what you remember, your ship was... Okay, here's what you get, Sean, because you do completely succeed. Your design was the prototype. It was the pretty much only model of its type. The other prototypes were far cries from that. They did not work nearly as well. And in fact, if you hadn't seen them pulling out other cores and referencing, the lower section of that fortress, you honestly wouldn't have expected there to be any other tank trains accessible. However,
Rian definitely recognized the design.
Yeah, exactly. Because you did roll the 9. You're thinking back to that cactus juice fueled evening you had with Rian, where he went on to tell you about how, Model 2.0 of the rapid armor transports are going to be even better. They've got thicker treads, a more high-powered drive system, and even thicker armor. And the weapons augments on it are incredible, and that he can't wait for them to be mass-produced, since they already have several in production.
Yeah, which...
So you can assume, while it's not quite your tank train, there is the bigger, better 2.0 version, if not already made, probably will be completed by the time you get to your destination.
The unfortunate problem of, while I was smart, there are other smart people.
Yes.
And while I was hoping, taking the prototype I worked on and trying to wreck as many of my notes as possible, they still have been able to figure out new solutions.
Be right back, Bio.
Unfortunately, I wasn't the only engineer, and they have this entering a new design entering the production line. Hopefully hopefully they'll have some flaw that we can exploit, but like they've also figured out how to mass produce their quote power source, their horrendously bad approach to, in every sense of the word, to human resources.
All the more reason to get to Ba Sing Se first. It's the safer location, and if the Fire Nation encroaching into Earth Kingdom territory is getting worse, we'll probably want to pick up some resources and potentially a vehicle before we continue on to the library.
Yeah, I just can't believe that they have gone that much further in what lines they're willing to cross.
I entirely can.
Yeah, you hear Sagan coughing near you guys. It seems like there's nothing stopping the Fire Nation. They're advancing in spite of what morals would tell them to not do. That, I think, is what makes them more dangerous than anything else.
It's not just that. That is what I would say makes the Fire Nation dangerous, but not in the right word. The lack of morals is an issue. That all of these works are not the work of a sole genius is actually quite laudable, and something that I think many others, both in terms of nations and in terms of styles, suffer from.
Hmm.
The issue is one of morals and depravity, not one of insight.
Hmm. He's just gonna nod his head as you say that, and then double over in a coughing fit.
Yours actually look. Sorry, I'm afraid we didn't really get introduced. Is it alright if I see if there's anything I can do to help you with that?
If you wish, miss, but I'm old and I just need rest. But by all means,
I will absolutely spend one. Probably. Let's see, Principle of Fire plus. Fuck it. I'm gonna spend one of my +4s for trying to help him on this for different points for his meridians and chi pathways. For apply pressure here, a little bit of heat. Apply pressure here, a little bit of heat.
okay.
To help. That's a 12.
Okay.
Wait, that might be higher. Let me see if it's higher.
Nice.
That's a 13.
Holy shit.
Hot stone massage.
Okay. So Yira, congratulations. You just saved Sagan's life.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I had a feeling.
He had advanced stages of pneumonia from being in that dungeon for so long, and his body was starting to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
He was not going to make it to Ba Sing Se.
Well, now he will.
Now he will.
Maybe.
Maybe!
Shot him with an arrow.
Yeah. If he maintains his health, which is very much in flux.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that we have our destination. The only question that remains is, do we wish to take the safer, longer route by going along the northern coast, or do we wish to try our risk in going through the Serpent's Pass?
How many of the people with us can survive the longer route? I will actually roll to see what my estimation of that is from Oh fuck, Yura's probably the actual person with the most medical skill here.
I mean, does anybody actually have medicine?
No.
Yeah.
I have background skill, which certainly includes Fire Nation medicine.
Yeah, I Fire Nation soldier background. I probably
Yeah.
have
You guys will not know. Like, you can't do any advanced surgeries or whatnot.
Yeah, but we know field.
You know field first aid, which like you are able to like get Sagan healthy enough that he will make the trip. You are not able to fully heal him. Is the
Point of order. I actually know like some of the like actual cheese stuff and like more advanced. It lives only on one island medicine from backstory.
That's herbalism.
Yeah, that helps.
It's not advanced surgery, but it's more than field training in the military.
No, that's fair, and that helps, but that's not like actual medicine, which is why he's surviving to get there. Yeah, you guys can both roll it, or one of you can roll a boost.
I'm, depending on what I'm allowed to roll, either D10, D8, D8, or D10, D10, D8 on this.
Yeah, you're better. I'll give you a +1.
I do not think I have anything relevant for this.
Is this background skill or bending lore?
This would be your background.
Okay. Alright. So you give me a boost.
I said I gave you a +1.
Oh, okay. As I said, this is mostly going to be focused on getting as many of the people with us through this, and estimates of can they survive the long journey, or do we have to risk the short one? Well, that's a 9.
9. Okay. So
I guess I can also see if there's any improvements I can make to this ship to get us there faster.
So,
hello.
Don't worry about that. So what you do get from this is that there are several people who are bedridden. If you remember from when you guys were escaping from the prison, there were actually some people who I had literally in cots. They're completely bedridden. The only difference between them and Sagan's condition is Sagan has like just this robust toughness about him, but health-wise they're all at roughly the same level. It's
Great.
It's going to... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's going to be rough going to get them to Bossing, say, in a ship, no matter what, without at least getting some first aid stuff. But when they get there, they are definitely going to need to seek out a healer. Like,
great. I'm going to take our friendly firebending guard who needs to learn a little bit more and teach him some of the very basics of how to do this. As part of transit, either way.
Okay. FYI, he's not a good firebender. He will offer to help however he can, but this is mostly going to be he's kind of there for moral support as you're mostly taking point. He does not want to accidentally burn someone.
Oh, no, that's completely fair. He's still learning what he can, and honestly, if anyone else here has firebending, Yura's going to try and teach them what she can about this, but...
Oh, you weren't here for...
I mean, worst comes to worst, we can just stick him in the engine room. Nobody really to hurt there.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Everybody, in theory, can make it the long, safe route. The long, safe route, however, I'm assuming you guys are saying is going to be down around the continent, past the Eastern Air Temple, which is 39, past 61, and then you're going to be coming in to that little narrow river near 37. Correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Is there any work that can do to try and make the ship move faster? Areas where we could, like, potentially, I don't know, either improve the engine or lose excess weight because we're not going to be taking this into battle, I'm pretty sure, after this.
So most of the supplies on this ship, again, supplies you guys only had enough for a couple of days. To get all the way around this continent, it's going to be at least a week. So supplies, you guys are going to have to ration, which is not good for sick people.
Well,
are we able to stop by any of the ports?
Are there ports that we can make a stop at and trade with?
The closest and easiest one would have been Willtail Island.
Are we currently where the tank train is on the map?
Yeah.
What about 25?
So 25, you guys avoided that like the plague. That is a... You know what? Screw it. Han, you would know this. That would be Chin Village. A village on top of high cliffs. They are known for their festivals. They are known for hating the Avatar, and they are known for being very proud and independent and not overly welcoming of outsiders.
Let us not go to Chin Village. It is a silly place.
So we're not going to be able to...
How long until we can hit 26 or 29, then?
Let me double check.
This is logistics, like, coming forth, and absolutely something that is in character, where, as part of this success, you're going to be plotting out, okay, how many people can we get to, you know, a place that has either medical aid where they can be dropped off, or where we can buy medicine and also resupply.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's fair. I don't...
Okay. 26, it wouldn't be that bad.
No, 26 is like 2-3 days out. Like, that's... Actually, I'm going to say 2 days, because you have to, like, make port and then you have to make your way in. I believe you actually passed by that city. That's the city of Gaolin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, wait! I'm sorry. Yeah, you definitely were there. The city of Gaolin, that's where you guys met the first White Lotus group.
Yeah, we... going to probably try to disguise the ship lightly and maybe disguise ourselves when we go to stop for supplies.
I say we fly a different flag, and those of us who tried to help defend the city don't disguise themselves while trying to help.
Okay.
This is mostly me, but...
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, 29 is probably 4 days out if you wanted to go there, but you know that's... It's up to you.
Sorry, Rosie.
29 is about 4 days out. 26 is 2 days out.
Let's stop at the 2 days out one.
Stop at the 2 days out, maybe resupply at the 4 days out if we get enough to last until then.
Okay.
Find what supplies are on the ship that we can trade. Find if we can remove... Potentially can lose some of the armor plating because we're theoretically not going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you, whatever you guys want to do to the integrity of the ship.
The main goal is we keep as many people alive as we can, and we get to Ba Sing Se.
And we want to get there as fast as possible, right?
Well, as
I
fast
would
as
say
possible.
preferences on making sure people don't die over get there as fast as possible, but...
Okay, the preference for making sure people don't die is that we get supplies, though, correct?
Yeah.
Like,
this is in regards to what we trade from
to
the
make
ship.
this military ship less of a military ship. So it therefore, because, like, armor and various other things exist on this ship, so it can go through battles.
That's true.
Also, we probably have something that was used in battles in cargo if it wasn't unloaded.
Yeah, so, like, there's supplies that we aren't going to need that we can trade, and there's theoretical armor plating and things that can get stripped off the ship, so we can either also trade and sell as just metal, or we can also just get rid of.
Okay.
I also still have coins as a superpower.
You do.
Yeah.
Are we able to get people to Ba Sing Se without a lot of them dying, is he?
If you guys can get them sufficient food, yes.
So, should we be making rolls to sell it to trade for food and rolls to speed up the ship?
What I would like you guys to make me... What's the equivalent of search?
This is probably a bunch of overcomes.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a bunch of overcomes. I would like an insight check by anybody who's searching the ship to see what you guys have. I would also like... Well, no one has medicine.
So I'm D10, D8, D8 on this.
Or investigation.
Does anyone have
I'm
that?
D8, D10, D6.
And again, there's different things you guys can investigate. It's up. What are you guys specifically looking for?
What are we looking for?
You tell me.
Anything.
I don't know.
The
Things we can trade for food and medicine.
What?
So,
Whether that be raw materials, Fire Nation weapons, literal gold, what
I
have
clicked prematurely, but does anybody want to boost me? How about
yeah, I'm going to be finding things that we specifically don't need on the ship, and things that are redundant to get rid of.
Can I boost someone by basically following them around and moving things so that they can see stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess
I
you
will
can boost
boost
me.
Rizik because I also know these things.
I
That's a
will
terrible
follow
roll.
Han.
I'm actually going to go off on my own. I want to see if I can find anything made of stone at all on the ship.
Okay.
Even things that like appear out of like useless or brittle stones. Just anything
Okay.
that I could possibly bend.
Okay. Roll.
Nice. Oh well, Han, you get a +1.
Izzy, I am going to use my collection on the insight.
Okay.
Which gives me a success with a minor twist.
All right. I'm going to run through these guys. Oh, first off, who was boosting?
Actually, no, I definitely remember.
I boosted Han.
Okay. For a +1. Han, you got a 6. Han, what were you specifically looking for?
Basically things to barter with.
Things to barter with. Okay. Going through the entirety of the ship, you find the armory. Nothing overly impressive in there. You got a couple of swords, a couple of pieces of armor. It's very run-of-the-mill, very generic. Not a ton there. Your cabinets are mostly empty. Like, as you go into the bowels of the ship, you find another locked door. Like, in the lowest levels.
Okay.
Izzy.
Oh, you don't want me to finish?
I was just actually no, sorry, finish. I was gonna say I had an idea, but finish first. Sorry.
Okay. It takes a while for you to like get in this, but because you guys have a stupid amount of time, I'm gonna say you will eventually get into this room.
I mean, I can metal bend. A locked metal door is not an issue.
Exactly. Han, just because like you guys are down there, you're like, all right, we're tired, we're exhausted. With that 6, you look in there, and you're like, what the hell is this? The first thing you open is a bag, and it's just a fuck ton of muffin bottoms.
God.
There's just bags upon bags.
How many of those do you have?
A lot of muffin bottoms in this ship. And you see the muffin bottoms, and you're like, fuck this. Turn around and you just leave.
These absolute fucking degenerates. My God.
I mean,
That's
we
out
can
of
still
character.
eat them.
Well, here's the other thing, Han. Like, you look at like another bag like right next to it. There's like, it's a full muffin, but there's just like one bite taken out of it, and it's every muffin in that bag.
Oh, that's insult to injury.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
These people are monsters. They must be stopped.
There's a lot of reasons why we want to get rid of these people.
Why do you think they're on the list?
No one will be sad
I'm
to
pretty
see these
sure
men
not
die.
due to muffins.
Oh, absolutely not. But they're still on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Who was the other?
We need to discuss that list later.
Who was the other person that rolled the boost? Was it Rizik or?
I was rolling
I
to
boosted Rizik by +1.
Okay, Rizik,
Yeah,
you got a 9.
I was going. Yep, because I was going with the thing of like, okay, I'm going to get rid of things that I specifically know we don't need, like because this is a military ship. A ship that doesn't have military concerns doesn't need as many stuff that would have been put on a military ship.
Okay, so
we can get rid of the trade, and that's also stuff we can remove to speed us up.
Okay, so you're literally just looking at stripping off some of the armor and weapons, but you're not actually searching the ship.
I mean, if there's the thing of, hey, this is the spare parts, and this is the, like, things like that of, here's the supplies for keeping the ship running, and go, yeah, we only need to care about this if we're keeping, like, guns don't exist, but, hey, this would only be needed for making sure the gun turret doesn't jam.
Okay,
And to repair that, we don't need this.
Okay, so you're getting rid of spare parts, and because you have metal bending, I will also say you can, like, shave off a few layers of armor on, like, all the sides of it, to the point where, like, you're not damaging the structural integrity of the ship, but, like, if you are in a combat, this ship is sinking hard.
I mean, if we get into combat, was probably already going to be focusing on keeping the ship stable.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Rizik's entire job has become Atlas.
Okay, so congratulations, Sean. You are trimming off half a day to get to Gao Lin, and a full day to get to the quarry villages at 29, because you are lightening the load that much. And lastly, Hotaru.
Okay, so I thought of this immediately afterwards, and I know you don't normally let us add bonuses, but because I paid for them, can Boomy help me?
Yes.
Can Boomy help just boost me?
Yes. What did you buy Boomy at?
I don't know.
Okay, so traditionally Boomy would be at a D12.
Yes, but he's a little weak right now, I think.
He is. Hold on, let me actually go check what his current die size is, because you guys have not had a chance to heal. Because I did actually have it on the other map. He's currently at a 6.
That's fine. Any boost is
+1 probably.
Yep. All right.
I rolled them.
+1.
Yep. And with collection, if I use a collection, that boosts me up to an 8, which is a complete or a success.
Okay. What specifically are you looking for?
Anything that can be earthbendable. Literally anything.
Anything. Okay. In a couple of the private quarters, apparently one of the guys who was a guard on this ship had like a small collection of like badger mole statues made out of clay.
How good are those badger mole statues?
They're actually really adorable.
Okay, like sellably adorable.
There's definitely a craftsmanship to it. If you find the right buyer, yeah, you could sell it and make, a couple of coins off of it. But that's a very niche market. It's not like someone's going to look at this and say, oh, I need to have this, small clay paperweight of a badger mole. It's, oh, that's cool and, a curiosity. Or if you're a collector of that kind of stuff, you might, pick it up.
Is that the only thing we find?
Okay, when I say badger mole clay statue collection, I mean there's like 30 of these things like right in this guy's cubby by where he sleeps.
I mean, okay, yes, that is excellent. I'm going to bag most of them, but that doesn't help what I wanted to do. I was hoping to find something a little more like durable.
You can definitely bend those and compress them to make them more durable.
Can't we get a bunch of bags of dirt and rocks when we hit landfall and trade?
Clay is not a valuable...
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Kotaru just really needs a jar of dirt right
now. Oh, wait a minute, Wex. I apologize. Also, there's coal down by the furnaces. Because of course there is.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for weapons. I'm looking for artistic materials.
It makes sense.
Please do not use too much of that, as we needed to get to where we need to go.
With Rizik, how much can I take?
Oh,
remember, we have 2 steps in this that are early on too.
That's why I'm asking Rizik. I want as much of it as I can take.
I will give Hotaru the answer for that and say, like, if we get really bad, theoretically, Yura, Kakan, and I guess kind of me now could also see about using bending to speed this up. But, like, we're going to need I'm not sure if this is a case of where we have excess or if this is a case of where we're going to have to, like, resupply.
Is it because I at one point had to deal with this logistics? Can I please roll this using a
Yes. Yes.
principle?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, I'm not trying to strand us, but I want as much of the coal as can be reasonably
I
spare.
will roll to assist for that, for what the logistics are.
Well, I got an 8.
Okay.
And I will boost you with a
2. Okay, so it's
6 plus 2.
Yep, so 10. All right, so Europe, as per protocol, any ship that leaves the port of the Fire Nation needs to have enough coal to get to where they're going and then come back 2 times over.
I mean, yes, but you know what happens all the time on campaign? You have to go places you don't want to, so...
Exactly, which is why they double that amount.
And also there are so many times where someone skims on that, or like, oh yes, this is what protocol is, but I don't have to do protocol because I'm important.
Yeah,
right, the important thing here is I want, like... How much do we have relative to the trip to Bossing Say?
To Bossing Say, half of what's left will get you to Bossing Say.
Okay, then I would say
25%?
I was going to say a third would be something that Totaro could use.
Again, it depends on if you guys want to keep this as your mode of transportation forthcoming.
I was assuming we were getting rid of this after.
I was assuming at Bossing Say we might be able to resupply because coal is known, but...
Yeah.
That's also an option.
Yeah.
I was saying 25% to give us a margin of error for bad water travel, or we have to, like, huff it over to 39.
That's you're not getting there. That's the air temple. That's up in the sky.
The land.
No, we can jump.
Yeah, it's Han would be able to tell you that the land there, if it's an air temple island like that, there's nothing on the island itself. It's just a city in the sky. It's specifically isolated.
Over to 61 then.
Yeah. You know, you would have more than enough to get there, even assuming, bad weather or need of detours.
Great. I give Hotaru the amount of coal that is able to be spent in order to keep us within our margin of safety then.
Okay.
Good.
You have lots of coal.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
I actually have no idea. I'm assuming you're sculpting.
Really,
I'm assuming you're sculpting something.
Oh, not before I work that coal for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
How much coal did you give me?
The amount Izzy said.
Good. I mean, are we done searching? Because I would be doing this while we're traveling.
Yeah. I would say I'm assuming you guys are done searching at this point. You guys have made your rolls.
Okay. Then while we travel, I guess I'll do this first. Izzy, Principle of Mastery.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to be making as many beautiful, ornate, and valuable-looking diamond sculptures as possible before we get to port.
Oh, well done.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming, but I gave it to you anyway.
You really should have.
I did not understand why you threw me out of coal room. I'm like, okay. Does he know what I'm doing? All right.
I didn't.
I mean, there is the theoretical argument of whether or not Hotaru would know that you could make a coal into diamond, because what is common knowledge in Avatarverse is weird. But
yeah. Also, you assume that because earthbenders are plentiful, that diamonds are actually considered valuables.
They still are pretty.
They are very pretty, and again, in the right market, they will sell. But if you're going into
I don't intend for them to sell just because they're diamonds. I intend for them to sell because they're going to be goddamn beautiful pieces of art.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That are also diamonds.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to make me a creativity and earthbending check, please.
Of course. This was always the plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to burn a +4 on this.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
We're making sure this group of people gets there alive, Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be fucking rich doing it.
Maybe we can
Hey,
help
Frankto, you thought you were the moneybags? What up?
Note to self: Frankto kills
I'm
Hotaru.
gonna burn my collection. My second
No.
collection.
Frankto hires Hotaru.
That's a 10.
So that's 10. That turns this into a 14.
Did you use a principle on this, sir?
Yeah.
Oh,
Principle of Mastery.
you did say principle of mastery, and that I believe is the third.
It will take me a while. It will be very difficult.
This will take you until you hit port. With a 14, though, I am going to say that you have turned. Max, roll me a d8.
Please be lucky dice.
Oh,
Yeah, 7.
You have made 7 5-foot-tall ornate statues, designed however you wish.
This is crazy.
Nice.
Where are we going to be landing again?
You are landing in Gaolin, the city where last you guys were. Nora smashed a bunch of jars and released, and pretty much turned the campaign inside out, in my opinion.
Right. I guess I'd be asking. Let's see. This is an Earth Kingdom city. I'm actually like to make a second roll, Izzy. I'd like to know what type of people in the Earth Kingdom would be most willing to buy things like this.
I assist with this with principle of business.
I'm going to say Han has to make this roll.
Actually, I'm going to assist Han with this roll.
Okay, I would like to use principle of business.
Wow. Getting them all
All right,
in at the
Han,
end.
I give you a +2.
Gonna need it.
Yep. Well, actually, yeah, it makes it a 9 because I was using a principle.
9 completely succeeds. Han, effectively, for statues like this, your seller's market is people like Frankto.
I'm going to.
Basically royalty and like.
So Han is going to sit with me while I do this and tell me exactly the types of things people like Frankto would buy in statue form.
Honestly,
Himself.
Yeah, it's a status thing. So if you, like, you know, if you want to have, like, a warrior attacking, like, a creature, or, like, some divine spirit, like, looking out with arms outstretched, it depends. Like, people have different tastes. Some people are, you know, that want conversation pieces, which all of these will be. Others want, you know, something with more of a spiritual or religious connotation to them. Others would want their own image hewn into the diamond to show, yeah, that's me.
I can't really do the
wants a
image,
horrifying
I don't know
bull
what I'm
monster.
telling to,
Others,
but I will make as broad a variety as possible to sell to as many different types of people as possible. So hopefully, like, all the statues will get bought up by at least someone. A little something to appeal to everybody.
Gotcha. Okay.
We also don't have to offload all of them here. We can offload some of them in the process.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
It's also relevant for, as years going to go on Treeville, ask people where the hell they came from, and, like, if one of them came from one of these towns, maybe just let them off at their home.
Actually, you know what? I will. This is not practical, but it's funny. 6 of the statues I'll do like that. I'm going to make the 7th statue very specific.
Mm-hmm. Go on, tell me, who is it?
It's my gift to Han.
Oh
Amazing.
no.
Please don't.
Is it?
You know who it is.
Please don't.
Is it Ko or is it Kono?
It's neither.
I think it's Frank, though.
I was gonna say.
Is it Frankto or is it A? I'm not sure if you're going sadistic or you're actually going with a gift.
No,
Hotaru would not make Aang.
I would not. No, it's Frankto. It's absolutely Frankto.
Okay.
That's exactly where I thought this was going.
Oh my god.
Congratulations, Izzy. You got the PCs to make a diamond statue of Frankto. Are you happy with yourself?
It will never be destroyed. It will persist through this game and my next one.
Ugh.
As Ziggy just loses his lunch.
Even Wash is probably throwing up in his mouth a little bit.
There is no limit to the amount I will throw open my mouth when Francto comes up.
Oh my god! When did you even get in the call?
That was the mystery person that showed up an hour ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's been listening.
well,
He's been listening.
Shows how much I look at Discord. All right.
All right. So you've got these 6 ridiculous statues.
Are you suggesting the one though Francto isn't ridiculous?
Oh no, that one is regal and majestic.
6 ridiculous statues and 1 sin against God.
Someone quote that, please.
Feel it like the rest.
Yeah, we're gonna save that one for Bossing Say. Hopefully, it can net us something with Francto potentially. Is my
Everyone in Boston
burned at the
hates
stake.
Francto.
I didn't say it was for them. I said it's for Francto himself. Because
I may have been,
on as much money as he needs.
yeah,
I may have misheard the.
this is made to leverage Francto and out of character to torture Dan.
In character, Han would point out that based on the visions and what we know, Francto might somehow not have any fucking money left.
I didn't say it was about money. It's just useful to play to an ego of a man like that.
Yeah, he may have bankrupted himself at this point.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay, I just want one of you guys to make me a business check in town, unless you actually want this to be a full RP stop.
I thought
Here, I will make make the check with principal of business.
Okay.
Can I come with you as the artist to help sell the things with you?
Of course, we must bring the artiste to also throw a +1 at this.
Sure. Throw all your +1s at this.
Does the artiste assist me?
Yes. The artiste is actually going to roll this boost with creativity and stone so I can describe my process.
Sure. Roll it.
All right. Whoa!
That is a +3. Jesus.
That's a 9.
I'm glad I spent the extra +1 because
that's a 9. That's a +4, isn't it?
No, it's a +3. 12 plus is +4.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, so I get a +3 and a +1, and because I'm using a principal, it's an 8.
You sure you don't want to throw a collection at that?
I mean, an 8 is still a pass.
It is. Just asking.
But
asking.
I guess I get. Wait, no. 12 is beyond success, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then yes, we'll throw a collection at that and make it an 8.
Okay, you find a collector of oddities in this town who is claiming that he is the sole reason why, after this town was destroyed not 3 weeks ago, it is now back on his feet. Yeah, it's only been that long.
We are having the worst month.
Yeah, you are.
We are.
I'd say it's been the worst season for a fair number of us.
He is like he literally like just was like, oh yes, whatever you need, I'm in charge of all the trades here. I have helped. I follow what I call the droplet method, where I sprinkle money in along all the local tradesmen. That way, it stimulates the economy. That way they will then spend money, and that way the people like farmers and lower merchants will also get money, and that way everybody is ascended back to the station where they were before everything was destroyed. It's a wonderful method. I think I'm going to patent it. But these... Yeah.
Did you have to bring Ronald Reagan into this?
No, that's Herbert Hoover, man.
That's Hoover. That's Hoover. That's Hoover.
Yeah. This is Depression era stuff.
Yeah. Hoover. Yeah, Hoover Towns.
He's just like, look at you, like, yes. I'll be honest, these are much shinier than my current collection. But I will take all 3 of these diamond animals. Usually I go for small clay figurines of badger moles, but these are exquisitely crafted.
I pull out the badger moles.
He pays you more for those.
Than the statues?
He still takes the statues, but he pays more for those. He's like, finally, I have a complete collection. But yes, in this little trade town, you guys get plenty of food and but the required amount of medicines. Like, this isn't really a trading village, so like the medicines they have are mostly for local stuff, but you're able to buy out a lot of the surplus. Hell, all the surplus. And that should at least keep, your sick people stabilized until they can actually see a doctor.
Well, if we can, let's bank the extra money in case maybe we can use it to assist in bossing, say.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and we should have a shit ton of money given what we were selling and to who.
Yeah. You guys have enough. Again, you're trying to feed over 30 mouths, so you sold a lot, but again, diamonds in this area, it's not like diamonds in this world. Like, yes, they command a high price, but then again, like each of those, if they, feed 15 mouths for 2 weeks, that's most of your money right there. And then the medicines would be the rest of it. So, in a sense, you have extra spending money, not a ton, but you also have all the supplies you needed. So you net it.
Yeah, I mean, since I literally spent nothing on this, I'm pretty happy at this exchange.
I figured. Yes, he's just going to be like, excellent, excellent, wonderful. Well, if you ever find yourself in Gowlin Village again, please welcome yourselves. We are always interested in finding fascinating people. Actually, gonna have a couple of people roll.
Izzy, can I keep one of the badger moles for myself?
The clay ones?
Yeah.
Are you asking for a specific one, or because he's trying to complete his collection?
Oh wait, are they all different?
They're all slightly different. Yes, he doesn't want all of them. He wants like a select few. Do you care which one?
I don't care which one I keep. I just want to keep at least one.
You've got 2 left.
Okay, I'll keep them.
Okay.
They remind me of an old story.
And which is even better than because there's 2 of them.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, very uneventful this go around there. He will tell you that, like, it's been, thank you so much for coming. Like, these will really, add to the town itself. So we haven't had anybody passing through here in weeks. Not since not since we had the evil spirits exorcised here. Oh, thank goodness they're gone. But thank you so much for coming. This is exactly what I needed. You have made my month.
Smile a little at that. Nice to do good things for once.
Mm-hmm. Actually, 2 questions for this, which I should have asked earlier. A, would you guys have gone? Obviously, you would have gone in on foot. How far away would you have kept the ship away? And 2, would you have gone in at day or night?
Probably day if you're gonna do business.
Okay.
Right?
My answer is whatever time of day we arrived.
Someone roll me a d4. 1 for morning, 2 for afternoon, 3 for evening, 4 for late night. But yeah, that is true. Business.
D24 for what hour of the day we showed up at.
Or roll that. I forgot roll 20 can do that. Anybody? Yira, roll their d24.
I'm trying to remember the command. 8 a.m. Perfect amount of time.
Actually, completely perfect.
That is actually, yeah. So, yeah, you guys are there for a couple of hours. And as he smiles and thanks you and, you're noticing, Han and Hotaru, that he picked the animal statues. Anything that had any sort of spirit relation, he left with you.
Not surprising.
Didn't want those at all.
Yeah, it's...
Anyway, yeah, you come back on with 3 of your statues. Plenty of food and supplies. It actually takes, if it's just the 2 of you, a couple of trips, even with your respective bendings, to make sure everything gets to the ship safely.
Yeah. If possible, Izzy, I'm going to stock a little bit of earth on the ship as well.
Trivial.
Yeah, not enough to slow it down, but enough that I, am not defenseless.
Yeah, if you need to, you can fight. That's fine.
You do, in fact, have a jar of dirt.
I have a jar of dirt.
And guess what's inside? More dirt! Where are you guys heading now? Are you just going straight to Ba Sing Se, or do you want to make another stop along the way?
Do we need to make another stop to keep people alive?
A couple of people who are, sickly are teetering a bit. They're not doing as well as you would have hoped with the medicine, but they are at least stable. So
probably better to press on then, right?
That's up to you guys.
I mean, like, the sooner we get to Ba Sing Se, the sooner we can help them, right?
Yeah, the sooner you guys get to Ba Sing Se, there are definitely, like, certified healers there that can treat anything, because it is the capital of the Earth Kingdom continent.
And we know does 29 have anything relevant that would help them as a pit stop along the way, or just chew straight through to...
It's more small villages.
Maybe stop by 38?
So 38 is the beginning of the Serpent's Pass. That's just what that is. That's not a town.
What is 57? That's
57 is the bay. It's just the name of the bay. Like, in that area, it's on the west side of that open sea area, it's mountainous. On the it leads into the Serpent's Pass, which is that small winding section. And then on the opposite side, it's mostly like forested, I'd almost say rainforested habitats. Not really civilized. You might find like a tribal village snuck in somewhere in there, similar to what you would have expected if there's any civilization hiding in the swamp. But like no settlements that would be easily visible from the water.
I guess, like, maybe stop by a small town that we might need to resupply, but otherwise head to Ba Sing Se.
You have more than enough supplies from this trip.
Head to Ba Sing Se.
Yeah.
Head to Ba Sing Se. Okay. Alright. With this, everybody, you may heal up to full, because this trip is going to take you 3... it was a day and a half to get you guys to 26. As you guys are passing what Han you would know is the base of the island for the Eastern Air Temple, that would be about a week since you guys ran into the Commodore.
Okay.
Someone roll me an insight check, please. Or perception. Your guys' choice.
Sure.
Man, skills I don't have.
Does anyone want to boost me?
I'm D8, D10, D6. I guess I can boost you.
Yeah, I'm 8, 8, 10.
You know, I'm
I
a 10.
haven't used my collection yet, and we're nearing the end of the session, so maybe I'll do that instead. Boost Han +2.
Okay.
Looks like it's still an O.
It's still a 5.
Can I spend my collection?
Actually, no. I have a second collection. I can just.
Yeah, just spend your collection, get an 8.
Yeah, spend another collection.
Okay.
I can use untrained power, untrained quality to boost you. That's still a +1.
I mean, if Han uses his collection, it gets you to a 10.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So as you're all passing by the Eastern Air Temple Island, Han, you look up there, and you've never been to the Eastern Air Temple for an extended period of time. You might have gone there for a class, but the Eastern and Western Air Temples were predominantly where the female monks resided, whereas North and South are where the male monks lived.
Is that actually canon?
That is canon.
Cool.
I'm not going to tell you the one time of year they meet, which they leave very ambiguous in the wiki, but I'm pretty sure it was the festival to make more airbenders. In any case, as you're looking up and you're remembering, like, you and BB, both kind of get, like, little chills as you're, looking by. Like, that your people were, on here. And, like, looking up, it's almost like your imagination is playing tricks on you. Like, looking up, it's clear skies in the middle of the day, but it's almost as though you can see, like, smoke still emanating from, like, above the clouds where the temple should be.
Right.
But, you look again and it's not there. However, you do, as you, like, stare up into the clouds, you just can't help but notice that there's just, like, this red light that's just emanating from around the temple, and it's just so eerie. It's as though you can still, you weren't there, but you could almost feel the heat coming off of it. And, the redness that's bright shining through the clouds, through the temple. And, you realize that that's not your imagination. The red light shining from beyond the temple, that's there. And as the rest of you probably notice Han looking up, staring in what you can assume is shock, you all glance upwards towards the skies. Clouds are parting, and you can see the remains of the Eastern Air Temple, high up on the cliffs. Buildings, having been left untended. Some rocks are falling out of place. From what you can see from your low vantage point, you can see, like, huge chunks of the architecture is just missing. But you see this red glow kind of emanating from behind it. And as you stare up at it, from behind the temple, you see this red glowing orb rising up into the sky at an incredibly rapid pace. And you see this red moon ascend high in the sky until it partially blocks out the sun.
So, is that good or bad?
Definitely bad.
Yeah, that's definitely bad.
And I believe that is where I'm calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Oh boy, wonderful. I guess we get to find out how mad the ocean spray is.
God damn it, Admiral Zhao. You're not even born yet.
Yeah, we're not even there yet. We're nowhere close.
I am Zhao, the Moonslayer!
Look, if we keep having to protect celestial bodies from getting killed...
We'll be here all day.
It could happen.
True. There's a lot of stars in the sky.
Look, the fact that this has already happened once is once too many.
Well, the show, the moon went out. The moon's here. It's just red.
That doesn't make
friendly.
Does that mean that the moon has flipped to its other aspect? Because that's also a horrifying thought.
Good question.
I hadn't even thought about that, and that it is so much worse.
I'm assuming
You're
that
welcome.
roll otherworldly.
I'm missing it. What's its other aspect?
I don't know.
Every
I don't
spirit has a
know.
cool aspect.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not.
So, congratulations. You've all received, according to my notes, 4 hero points this session.
Hey.
Also,
Thomas has been bought for next session now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because I'm such a nice guy, you guys are getting another collection.
Oh boy.
What's it called?
The Diamond Collection, obviously.
The Book of Taran.
Whoa.
Yeah, that
he wasn't
tracks.
even in all the episodes.
That mostly tracks.
The last time you guys got a collection was before you met him, and now you know where he's ended up, in and out of character.
Does not change what I said.
No, we don't. He might still be alive. We can't rely on being dead yet.
What am I calling this session, by the way?
I'm on a boat.
No shipping.
Well done.
No shipping. I love it. I love everything about that. Thank you, Ziggy. Alrighty. So, Rizik, what did you learn?
New ways that the world is fucked.
What do you want to know more about?
How to unfuck things.
And where do you think this is going?
To the moon! And also, eventually, we'll get to the library, I hope.
You hope.
I just want to have the thing of, like, okay, here's the 20 problems we don't know how to solve. Let us sit here and figure out what the solutions are, rather than just learning a new problem.
Am I just throwing problem after problem at you guys?
Yes.
That seems like something I would do.
It does, doesn't it?
Alright, next up, Minghua. What did you learn?
Francto is in trouble. Francto is immortal.
Ah, diamond statue of glory.
You're fucking welcome.
What do you want to know more about?
What the moon and ocean spirits' other aspects are and how to avoid running face first into them.
Good question, good question. And where do you think this is going?
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Oh, thank you for putting that idea in my head.
You're welcome.
All
I
right.
feel like I've already been there, but this is neither here nor there.
No, if I can blame anything on you guys, you know I will do so.
He's got a point.
Next up, Yira.
In terms of things being my fault, remember, I'm the reason Helena turned out to be psychic in the Pokemon game.
That's true. That's true.
It's very true.
So much of this game is going to wind up being my fault.
Probably.
You have no idea.
Yeah, hearing the breakdown after the end is going to be fascinating.
I've actually been updating my notes and saying what I changed when to give you guys a more concrete, here's what's your fault.
Yay!
Nick, are you going to be like I was in Pokemon and the core root of this is all your fault?
I don't know. I feel like that might be yours still, Lex.
Well,
Really?
hey,
I don't know. I didn't give Izzy as much to play with this time around.
At least I think the majority of the party is not guilty of war crimes at the moment.
Like, I think we can blame at least some of this on Kenzie, since she was originally going to play Bazu, and then was like, hey, can I play the kid and be a dum-dum?
Look, honestly, if more than 2 of us are guilty of war crimes, I'm going to be very disappointed in the rest of you.
I'm just hoping we
Peace
can
was never
keep
an option.
the war crimes to the war crime count to what it is currently.
That's going.
As long as we don't increase it, we're doing well.
I'm sorry, you said wartime count, and I'm just like,
Actually, sorry, no, we've all been committing a war crime. We're flying under a flag that is not our own.
I thought we replaced the flag.
Do we have a flag, though?
We don't have a flag, but
No
is
flag,
that a war
no country.
It's true, you guys don't have that.
Also for my answer, what did I learn? Pirates. Maybe I should become a member of the Fifth Nation. Maybe. I'm not sure if I believe about that. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to more pirates.
You should do that. What do you want to know more about?
The moon.
That's very ambiguous.
I know! That's why I want to know more about it, so I can disambiguify it.
Fair. Where do you think this is going?
The moon! We are going to somehow wind up in space, and then Han gets to be dad in space. Also, we're going to the moon.
Ooh, that means
This game has turned into Wall Street bets.
Han! What did you learn?
That is not what my reference was. Give me a second to find a GIF.
Well, we've got even more confirmation that Francto is broke and or broken.
Certainly the
both.
last one.
Yeah. What do you want to know more about?
Why Moon Red, though?
And where do you think this going?
The moon is Angie, and we're all gonna die.
Oh, okay. So, Hotaru, what did you learn?
That stress makes me a little sarcastic towards people threatening my life. Also, Kakan's a cool guy, and I should hang out with him more.
Yeah, I just want to
Fuck you for that giving off topic, Sean. Oh my god.
I just want to touch on that real quick. Why, Sean, did you not metal bend his cutlass?
Like, I wanted to keep that under wraps. It was the thing of, like, you're saying that he's basically threatening us, but, like, we're currently at the Parlay Be Peaceful thing, then I'm not going to showcase having an ability that no one else in the world has.
This is also why I decided to scream parlay instead of airbending at the pirates.
That really worked out so much better than it had any right to do.
I love that it did.
And I will not apologize.
Nor should you. Alright. Hotaru, what do you want to know more about?
Why is the moon red? Where's the moon spirit? Why is it at the air temple?
Okay. And where do you think this is going?
Around the world in 50 days to collect a magic ritual for Mr. Frankto.
I thought the book was 80 days.
It is 80.
It is 80 days.
As soon as I said it.
Well, look, we
Izzy
all
would
know
never be
that
nice
things
enough to
in
give us 80
Avatar
days,
travel
though.
at the speed of the plot.
Yeah, true.
We'll travel by map.
Travel at the speed of plot. Lastly, Kakan, what did you learn?
Khan learned Hotaru really needs a better father figure. The question is, what is going on with the moon spirit? And for what's going to happen, Final Fantasy IV. We're going to the moon.
Yep.
Wow, when everybody thinks we're going to the moon.
Hey,
I
at
didn't say
least
we're
hopefully
going
we're
to
not
the
going to run into the problem of Mega Man Legends 2, where we end up stuck on the moon.
Look, we're going to go to the moon, and Han is going to be space, and then all of our problems are solved.
Hey,
mean,
Nick,
or-
fuck you.
Alternatively, the moon might come to us.
Yeah, I think the moon's gonna come to us.
Yeah, we do not want to. We do not want to turn.
Oh
this
my
into a fast.
god!
Look, all we need to do is find Tanoka Arena. We know the song to play to solve that problem.
Oh, you beat me to it, Dan.
I don't think
I
we
mean,
have. We don't have the 4 giants.
Look, we've already had
Bro,
Skull
we just go back in
This is
time
not
and relive the same
impossible.
3 days over and over again until we find the giants.
We'll hang out in dungeons. It'll slow down time more.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Play the song in inverted time, it's fine.
And the worst part is it's not even unprecedented because we've seen Skull Kid.
You know, at least this time we're doing getting distracted by off-topic memes after game ended.
Yes, I'm actually very proud of you guys for not going crazy posting during session. I'm also shocked as how, like, literally the thing I said the 5 minutes before I called the game is the thing that is going to stick with you guys for the rest of the week. And
That's how it goes, okay?
That is
But
generally.
Izzy, that's no moon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
We did that in Kingdom Hearts already.
you did. By the way, I will say this: there was one solution to your food problem that none of you thought of.
Fishing.
The dragon goes and gets enough food for itself every day. It can make a second trip.
True, but we'd also have to negotiate with the
We
dragon.
don't know how
Yeah.
dragon. Also, Izzy, just as a relevant thing, you're just gonna go try and talk to the dragon on this very long trip at some point.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I have a thing I want to be doing on this trip very specifically as well.
I
mean,
do
I
at one
think that we
point
can
want to
probably-
have the discussion
So-
about who is on the list and why.
so all of
Because I
the
think that is something we need to discuss.
so all that stuff I would like you guys to put in the in-character chat as some stuff for next week, because you will still have ship time at the beginning of next week to do odd projects, decide if you want to stay on course to bossing, say, or if you wish to deviate.
That's a good way to handle it.
But yeah. Anything you guys want to talk about as just a reminder to yourself, throw into in character, and we will deal with it beginning of next week. With that, does anybody have any other questions, comments, thoughts, or whatnot for the recording?
Izzy, why?
Which
That's
part?
You're the one who made him a statue.
Because Dan is space.
It's true, I am space.
I have no regrets about what I've done with that statue.
I have no regrets about what you've done either. I don't think you know what's going to happen because of that now.
We're going to the moon.
Of course,
We're going to the moon. We're gonna see spirit animals.
It was too funny not to make it. Come on.
You did.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with you, but also, oh no.
You did get a 13.
It looks really good.
Yes, it does. It does look majestic.
And this isn't even out of character. I actually I wrote myself as an artist.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
All right. Well,
I am a sculptor.
Everybody, say good night to the recording, y'all.
Good night, recording, y'all.
Good night, recording.
Night.
Night.